Hey everyone, Wild West Exodus fans, Good, Bad, and the Enlightened fans, Outlaw Miniature fans, Battle Foam fans, Tabletop Wargaming fans, 40K, I don't know, whatever you may be. Today we have a very special review, pre-release of the new Micro Art Studio terrain designed especially for Wild West Exodus. These particular houses, of which I have three, were sent oh so graciously over to us here at the Good, the Bad, and the Enlightened by Outlaw Miniatures themselves so that we could make these videos for you and you could see just how nice these buildings are, get a good sense of the scale, and allow us to kind of give a bit of a pre-release review. Or if you're watching this later and you just wanted to see how cool these buildings are, and they're widely available at this point, I'm sure they'll be sold all places that Micro Art Studio terrain is sold, which you may be familiar with them. They've made Infinity Terrain, they've got their own terrain for a game called Wolfsung, I believe it's called. Very high quality stuff. This is MDF and it is laser cut. The little bits here that you can see on these, I haven't painted these yet on purpose so that you could get a good idea of how the pieces work. These were actually sent to me assembled already. So these exact buildings were built by the Outlaw staff. These pieces right here, they're actually like a cardboard piece. They come in a cardboard sheet to get put in. And without further ado, the first building we have here is one of the house set. Now the house set currently at the time of this video is 4 houses and a couple of little pieces that go with it, like this outhouse for instance. They've sent us 2 of them to look at today. And so what you get is you get this little building. All right, it's probably close to 4 inches or so square. Yep, about 4 inches. It'll sit right at about 5.5 inches tall. And as you can see, it's got exquisite detail on it. Very cool, uneven boards. The windows look really nice. Windows in the back here. The roof does not have to be glued in. It has little notches here. Which, let me grab the roof piece. So I have the piece here. So I could plug that in right there and have the house hole. But I wanted to just see how you could see inside of it. Cool little detail with the shingles here, uneven shingles. You can paint them up like metal, you can paint them up wooden, however you want to do. And one of my favorite things about it, let me see if I can get it here without destroying your view of it, is that in all of these buildings, the doors are removable. And there are these cool little pieces like this with a stand on them, so you can stand them up to the side, or you could open it and put it in there if you wanted to. But it allows your miniatures to run in there and shut the door, or barricade themselves in, or break down the door, or whatever it may be, when using them with some of the really cool scenarios that they've got in their rulebook. The door itself is a really snug fit. It's not difficult. It's not something that would be torn, like if you've painted it really well, it won't be destroyed or messed up trying to get the door in and out. For scale purposes, we have our Sheriff Mick Ironclad here. So you can see this building's actually pretty good size, especially considering you get 4 of them in the pack when you get these. And it's appropriately sized. These miniatures, their bases make them a little bit taller than normal. Not much taller, but a little bit. And you can see he's appropriately sized for that building and that door. Okay. When you see him next to it, pretty good size. good size at the windows. If we had him in the building, see, easy to access inside. I don't have particularly large hands, but none of the buildings that I've got here are difficult to get in and out of. But see, he's actually there. He's in the window. He's got his shotguns. All right, and we also have Kyle the Black. Excuse my paint job if you don't like it. I made him bright and colorful. He's on a medium base. I don't have any large base models to show you. If I had one of the trucks or the, I guess the Doomsday vehicle is what they call it, or the the Iron Horse truck, things like that, when I've seen them before in person, they're sizable. They're as big as that house is. Okay, so that's the first one. Second house, similar, same size, rather. And this one has the front roof off. It does not have the peaked front on it. This little atrium type piece. The sides appear to be the same. Okay, so you're going to get similar pieces in your set. It does have a different pattern on its roof. So while the sides aren't necessarily very different, when you're standing at a bird's eye view of the table like you would normally, then the design, let's see if I can get in that where you can see it. These look like larger, could be wooden, could be metal panels. Again, for scale, pretty awesome. You can see how you could have a group of these set out. You got some little alleyways going on here. Some good action scenes. Especially, I mean, you get a tiny little village when you get one pack of them. Okay, so then we'll get to the big one, the really cool one here that they sent me. Let me zoom out a little bit for this. Uh-oh. See a little bit of the side, behind the scenes action. Okay, now I'm going to build this in layers just so you can see how big it is. Alright, this is the hotel, which I believe they sell as a double kit. It doesn't have to be a hotel. You could build it as a saloon and have the catwalks around it. But this one is built as a hotel. Alright, so the first floor, it's pretty freaking big. That's not the right door. Okay, let me get a good view here for the camera. I'm going to have to zoom out as it gets taller. Still the same excellent detail on the sides. Here you get a little bit more of a sense of a build-up of maybe like a stucco or a plaster, whatever maybe before you get to the wood siding. On the back you can see the brick here, which is really well detailed. You've got to step up into your door here since the building is elevated. Take that out real quick. Put Mick on there. See? Stucco on this side as well. And these buildings have the elevated walkway on them, which is super cool. So you have this little sidewalk type deal out in front of the building they can get up on. Makes them a little bit elevated compared to the ground level. Okay, and now as you can see, the inside of it's plain. There's not really anything going on in there. Knowing this company and seeing what they've done with other terrain pieces for Infinity and their own, they're probably going to build some kits that will fit in here, whether it's interior walls or maybe like a bar or some stairs or something. I'm confident that that'll be coming down the pipeline. But if you get a close look here, I'll see if I can, yeah, you can see it pretty well here. Now the wooden slats here are offset, and the reasoning for that is that when you go into the second floor here, make sure I've got it right side up. Okay, it's a solid piece with a second floor in it. It slots right down onto that. It actually kind of locks in. If I can get it to lock in. There we go. So that it's not going to fall off. Like, it's in there securely. It's in there really well. See? And it fits. I mean, you've got a little bit of a line there, but it's pretty seamless. Especially once it's painted, it'll look really good. So now we've got the second level in there. And so if you had more than one of these kits, then it would be very easy to build your own weird Wild West skyscraper if you wanted to. I mean, like, they stack well. So you could just keep going if you wanted to. Alright, so a good sense of the scale again. Now the building's getting really big. Now it's really making the miniatures look to scale with their surroundings, right? Okay. Second level, just wood siding. Cool looking windows that are open and appropriately sized, right? So there he is right there in the window, shooting people out of the window. Maybe you got Frank James up there with his sniper rifle Sophie. I don't know. Happy little window. And then, let me zoom out some more, because this is where it gets real tall. I've actually got to tilt you back a little bit. Pardon me. Okay. Then you put the roof on it. And this is the only place that I'm curious, since I did not build this kit myself, if there are more pieces that go here that maybe help slot it on there. But the roof appears to just kind of sit down on it. So I think what you could do, and what I'm probably going to do with this piece, since I don't have any more floors for it, and I don't have the balcony piece that you can build otherwise where the balcony runs around it, is on the sides here where you can see that it's actually set up on this gap. Okay, I think you can see that pretty well. Let me zoom in. Alright, since this is MDF, you can take any simple little hobby razor. Take you something like this tool right here that I know we've all seen at pretty much every hobby store you ever go to, and Walmart too. And you could get these little bits right here to line them up with that, and it would sit flush. I think they leave it open-ended like this on purpose. This is a hobby game, so I'm sure they expect you to do a little bit of hobbying. I believe it comes with a couple different types of roof sets. This one's got the metal panel style roof on it. All the way around the back, you get this little window right here, which I think that's maybe my favorite part of this whole thing, which just goes to show you how silly I am about it. But the way this is designed is it's actually got a floor in it, like a loft. So you really could, if you wanted to, have Mick up here in this little loft window. And there he is. Or, you know, again, maybe you've got an outlaw sniper up there. Or I mean, you could have Carpathian up there, and you've got your animations running around, and he's reanimating them down here while they're fighting for him. And he's up there in the window, hard as hell to hit. I don't know. But very, very cool terrain. Very, very big, but to scale. And it fits the style well. It would be really easy to get some cool little plastic parts, or maybe the parts of old circuit boards of electronics you have that don't work anymore, or a multitude of things. I mean, you can get commonplace items like Pringles cans and straws and whatever else, and kind of run them along the building and paint them up like tubes for wires, or, you know, gas pipes, or who knows what. The other cool feature about these Micro Studio Terrain pieces is that they come with these signs. Okay, and this is the one that came in here. This is the one Outlaw put in the building. They have one that says Saloon if you build it that way. Knowing them, they'll probably have packs of signs that are different. There's also plenty of third-party companies out there that do acrylic markers and pieces that would do custom ones. such as urbanlasercraft.com. Micro Art Studio may do them for you. Gosh, who else? There's several different people. It's easy to find acrylic marker makers. But you just glue them right in there. It's glued right in that spot. So that's pretty much it. Hope you got a good idea of what the terrain looks like, the scale of it, the things you can do with it. As we get more pieces, as the Kickstarter stuff arrives, or as these become available and we can purchase them to do reviews of them, then we'll put up more. I'm sure we'll get the saloon. I'm very excited to see that one with the balcony running around it. The rest of the house kits, and other ones that are in the pipeline. So hope you liked it. Go check this terrain out. It's microartstudio.com, wildwestexodus.com. They probably sell it at a multitude of places by now. Check your local, friendly local gaming store. Have them order you some from Outlaw and buy it there. Support your local stores, guys. Thank you. This is Clayton, Warpug, signing out.